Very good morning. What we have done in our previous session, that was all about this color slicing, intensity slicing, right? Just wait for a moment. Sorry, I was disconnected. There is some problem here in the LAN cable. So I've started my data plan and I'm taking this lecture. Fine. Anyways, what we have done previously, this is about the pseudo color processing. Pseudo color image processing means we have the gray levels, gray level image, right? And we are giving the false color to an image, right? So this is what the pseudo image processing. So here we have seen the two different things. One is intensity slicing, or you can say density slicing, right? Over there, from any of the point, you are simply slicing your plane. So you are just dividing intensities into two parts. At one of the part, you are giving another color, and to another part, you are giving another color. So based on that, you can see this from wherever you have that slicing, that is your plane Li. Maybe it is L1, L2, L3, L4, and so on, right? It could be multiple. But for now, for this example, we have only single plane slicing, right? So that is till Li, you have one color, that is C1, and for after Li to L minus 1, you have another color, right? So this is what your two color image processing. Okay, same way, you have that vector values, right? Intensity values, that 0 to 10, I want to assign this color. So 0 to 10, that would be in one of the matrix, right? And you are assigning the color, that is suppose C1. Then for another C2. So you every time you just need to check whether this f of xy is there inside this vk, or vk plus 1, or this vk minus 1, right? So you are checking for each and every set. Wherever it is lying, according to that you will give the color, right? Then we have seen this example, right? Grayscale image is not so good to look for, it is not catching any kind of attention to the human, right? So few things you cannot describe just by the different gray level shades. Instead of that, if you will make it as a color image, then it would be visible. Then we have seen this example, right? We are using this color to highlight the rainfall levels. So if this is what the satellite image, right, and we are giving here the color coding accordingly, right? If the intensity is this, then give this color, and so on. So based on that, you can even assign the different kind of colors where the rain is the higher, right? So according to that, you are giving this colors. Right? Then we have seen gray level 2, the color transformation. Any gray level image, if you are giving it to three different planes like red, green, and blue, because in into our previous example, what we have done, we are directly assigning one color, that is this color C1, C2, C3, and so on, right? But if we will think about the hardware and all, right, so always the color should use the RGB model. So we are just giving our whatever the image into the red, green, and blue different planes, and then they will make the color. Okay, so that is what gray level to color transformation. Basic concept of this gray level to color transformation: performing three different transformations on the gray level of any input image. So this image will be treated by red plane, will be treated by green, as well as by blue, and then they will generate fr of xy, fg of xy, fb of xy, and then it will be combined and it will make one color, right? So here this assigning the colors to gray levels based on the specific mapping functions. That is again g of xy is equals to t of the f of xy. T is what? That would be the transformation function, right? So whatever the function you want to apply, right, whatever the intensity change you want, that you can do in the red plane separately, green plane separately, blue plane separately. The three planes would be separate, and then intensity average will be calculated and it will do it, right? So this is what the functional block diagram for pseudo color image processing, FRFG, FB. They are fed into the corresponding red, green, and blue inputs of RGB color monitor, right? So for the hardware, we are using this technique. Then we have seen this example, right, where it is actually been used, right, in the X-ray. Yes, because yeah, so we will be having this image as the grayscale image, and we are doing the color coding. So the three different colors, we are operating into the three different planes. That is why they have this red, green, and blue. They can even check the peak values and all, right, and they will do the transformation. Here they are using the same color as whatever the background color is there, right? Then you have again done the processing, and now this color is very similar to this whatever the baggage color is there, right? So this will be again treated as blue color, right? So the different color combinations you will do, and you can check whatever the kind of frequency change would be there or not. If the frequencies are almost same on all the three planes, means it's a low frequency, right? They are almost the same in the sine wave as well as in the frequency. At what time they are finishing their cycle, the same red, same green, same blue. If any one of the will get changed, then also you will realize something that somewhere is the another object is there, or and so on, right? How they are doing, that is much confusing in the book also. You can check, you can read, right? But we just need to know about that. We are doing the color coding, so based on that, from the grayscale image they are assigning few colors, so the object will be into the detectable mode, right? We can detect it. Simple. Then we have started with this gray color too. Again that is the same thing. That is what pseudo color coding approach used in several monochrome images. So what will happen, in grayscale image only they have taken the different grayscale images, and those different grayscale image I want to fed into my RGB color model, and if I am applying it to the red plane, green plane, blue plane, and then accordingly it will generate the output. So if we are having so many monochrome images, so that we can fed over here based on our transformation. What transformation you want to apply, that will create one of the things. So here we are giving just f1 of xy, that is from our first image, each and every xy. Suppose 500 cross 500 images there, so that first image we are giving to the transformation t1, and it will give appropriate g1 of xy. Then for the another image, for another image, whatever the number of images you want to combine, then this all the images will be given and additional processing will be done. So we will be having finally one of the image who is having three different independent planes, right? That is your hr of xy, hg of xy, and hb of xy, red, green, and blue. So you can see the example first, so then we will again come over here. See, this is what visible blue color in the wavelength 450 to 520 nm. So maximum water penetration would be here, and this is actually taken for the blue plane image. Okay, this is for the green, this is for the red one, and finally this is very near to infrared, because here the wavelength is 760 to 900 nm. If it is 760, more than 760, you know that red color would be there, and after red directly into the spectrum you will be having infrared band. So in that band, biomass and shoreline mapping, that would be reflected much. Okay, so this is actually visible in red, this is visible in blue, and this is visible in green. According to that, the satellite have taken the pictures. So here we have three different images, but they are the grayscale images. This is the image which is actually captured, but near the infrared band, that is much visible. Sorry? Yes, yes. So that is what we know. Okay, wavelength, that is nm. That is actually measured in nm. So few of the colors are visible in red. Few of the colors are visible colors are red in this particular wavelength. That what we have learned into the spectrum, right? Again, if you want to refer that, so this is what we have learned, right? So into this wavelength, blue is only visible. Into this wavelength, and see, from the 700, we have the infrared, right? Yes, it is based on totally the range of wavelength. Right? So this is what we have seen, right? The same thing we are discussing here, right? So here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 images. Now we are making the color composite images. We are giving these images respectively red, green, and blue, or sorry, blue, green, and red, whatever it is, 1, 2, and 3, right? Into our RGB module, this one, right? We are giving this 3 image over here, and once it will be processed, it will generate such kind of colors. Okay, whatever is visible in whatever wavelength, based on that they are creating this. And based on the same process, if you will check this one, then this fourth image will be generated like this. Why? Because this infrared is very near to the red color. So this all the colors, I mean, this mainly here, this background that is affected more to the red, right? So red would be more visible because that is near to the infrared. All the other colors are somehow visible, right? So here we have given 4, 2, and 1 image, 4, 2, and 1, and here we have given 3, 2, and 1. This is visible red, and this is near to infrared. But in both the cases, from 700, we can say that red color is visible, right? No, into the band from 700, red color is visible. So we have tried with this 1, 2, and 3, and we have tried with this 1, 2, and 4. So we are getting such kind of image, color coding. So, sorry? Huh. Yes, or 3 colors, because you have taken that image. It is for a now it's a grayscale image, but it is actually whenever it is taken, right? It is in which wavelength it is taken. So that color would be visible, but you have converted into the grayscale. Your system has been converted into the grayscale, so it will look like the gray image. But if you are giving that image to your color, right, that color transformation, then it would be visible, and according to that it will generate the colors. So where we were, yeah, here. So this is actually used in the case where different sensors produce individual monochrome image. So there are many monochrome images such as multispectral satellite images that we can feed into this color model, and we will get color image. This is used for that purpose only. Now we need to learn about basics of full color image processing. Now what is full color image processing? Just what we have seen, that is what pseudo color. Now this is full color image processing. So first to see this figure and let me know what you understand in this. I check my connection. If this is your grayscale image, you have a single component, that is intensity at any point x and y. If we will talk about MATLAB, If I'll say that is your original image f of 1 1, so what it means, first row first column, it will simply return that value. Whatever it will return, that is your intensity. Okay, if it is your 8-bit image, it will vary from 0 to 255, sorry, 1 to 255 or 6, right? Depends. Yeah, because we are working in the MATLAB, that is it. But intensity would be 0 to 255, though we are storing into 1 to 256, whatever it is. So here we are having just a single measure of your image, that is intensity. But if we will talk about the color image, right, and you will check that you will be having three different planes, R, G, B, right? One plane, yes, RGB will be combined, right? Yes. Intensity of R, intensity of G, intensity of B, and it will be gone through that all the three planes, and that is known as your intensity. I mean, for a single pixel, right? But it is actually having intensity, three intensities for R, G, and B separately. Then it will be averaged and it will represent one single intensity number, right? So at here the pixel at x and y is a vector in the color space. This is what the RGB color space, because see we are saying here vector. Why it is vector? It is not a single value. It is actually three values, right? One of the matrix who is having three values, that is known as the vector in the color space. RGB color space C of xy can be represented by R of xy, G of xy, B of xy, because it is having three intensities actually. R of xy, that is one of the intensity, G of xy another intensity, and B of xy. In the grayscale image, it is very simple. F of xy equals to I of xy. That is only single representation. That is just a scalar value, one value. But here you have three values. Simple to understand. Huh? Don't take it so seriously. Yeah. So similar to grayscale transformation, what we used to do, g of xy is equals to t of the f of xy. T is the operator, or you can say the transformation function, right? You will operate it on your original image. Finally, you will get your g of xy. Here for f of xy, intensity is represented as r. And in g of xy, in the output, whatever intensity you will get, that is s, right? R and s. But here you are not having single r. Intensity is also r1, r2, r3. R1, that is for red plane, R2 green plane, R3 blue plane. So three intensities, how you are applying the transformations. Based on that, you will get S1, S2, S3. So again, it will be in the term of vector. It is not a single value, right? So what is in this color transformation? You have Si is equals to Ti, R1, R2 till Rn, whatever the number of planes or whatever the number of colors you are having. If you will talk about here RGB, then you will be having three colors. If you will talk about CMYK, then you will have four colors, right? So depends on that. Generally we will have R1, R2 and R3 till R3, right? So here this I will be 1, 2 or till n. So this is what your f of xy, that is having f1, f2, fn, whatever it is, right? Or you can represent it better R1, R2, R3 and so on, right? And now you are applying on this your image, right? On your original image you are applying t1, that is one of the transformation function, t1, t2 till tn. According to that, whatever you are getting, that is s1, s2 and sn. So this is what your g of xy output image. Okay. What you were doing in the grayscale, no, the same thing you are doing, but here you have vector. Over there you have having a single value of intensity. So what is the formulation? G of xy equals to t on the original image f of xy. Here f of xy is the color input image. That is only the change. G of xy is your transformed or the processed image. And T is the operator, or you can say the transformation function. So this transformation or this color mapping function Si is equals to Ti R1 R2 till Rn, because here does S represent intensity of your output image, then here R is your intensity of input image, right? So N is the number of color components, that is your N. Generally into RGB you have three only, R1, R2, R3. The color component of f of xy and g of xy at any point should be the same, right? No, because whatever the number of colors you are having, that color planes, the same you will have S into the S. And T1, T2, Tn, that is the set of transformation, right? So whatever the number of R you are having, no, same number you will be having for T and same number you will be having for S. Some operations are better suited to the specific models. So if you have g of xy is equals to k f of xy in this HSI color space, this can be done with the simple transformation. How? Because H and S you are not doing anything. I is only of your interest, that is for intensity, right? So you are directly operating on that. S3 is equals to K R3, where your values of K between 0 to 1, that is normalized value. So you are simply applying some value to K and you will be having the transformed image, right? Because that's what we have seen, we have used into the example somewhere. So I'm explaining this. In the RGB color space, three components must be transformed, not only one. But into this HSI, H and S, we are saying it's same. Whatever it was there in input, the same would be into output. Where you need to change in intensity, right? So only single component will be affected. So in this RGB color space, you have this 1, 2, and 3. So S1 equals to KR1, S2 equals to KR2, S3 equals to KR3. Right. So based on this value of K, something will be transformed. In CMY space, required a similar set of the transformation, right? But here you are using 1 minus K also. That is for what? Yeah. So that is for CMYK, because you are transforming from 1 minus something, right? No, that is from the white color. So that also you can include. So this is what particularly for HSI model, RGB model, for CMY and for CMYK. Here both are included. If it is CMY, again, the very similar to SI is equals to KRI. But if it is CMYK, yeah. Yeah. Yes, for CMY only. And if it is CMYK, that is for the black color. So you are simply subtracting that 1 minus K over here. Yeah. Same way that is for the RGB. If you are saying R1, that will be transformed. So means you are talking about red plane. Second for G and third for B. So same way C, M and Y. Right? Okay. So this is what they have experimented few things, right? A full color image and its various color space component. So this full color image, if we are only taking a cyan color, if we will take this image from only the perspective of the cyan color, right, then you will have the image like this. If we will talk about this magenta, we will be having the image like this. If it is yellow, black tone, red tone, green tone, blue tone, and what would be the hue, saturation and intensity for this? So that will look like this, because it will be with respect to red axis. So that red color will be converted into black. This is what we have seen previously also, right? And saturation, this is what all the black color will be now the white color, right? And this is what average of this, all intensities, average. That is what intensity, HSI, right? This is what they have given some of the experiment set. Now, here we want to apply the color transformation. So, here adjusting intensity of an image using the color transformation. The first image, that is what your original image. Another image, that is after every 5 minutes this happening. Yeah. This B is result of decreasing its intensity by 30%. What I want is, I just want to decrease intensity. If first time we will consider that is 100% intensity, so I have to reduce this by 30%. So I'll have 70% of intensity now in the another image, right? So that is why we are keeping this k is equals to 0.7, because k is again the value between 0 to 1, right? So if I'll keep 0.7, it means I want 70%. Okay. Based on that, you are selecting your k. Now the required RGB, this image is, I mean, from C to E, this is what the required RGB, CMY and HSI transformation functions, whatever the model you are using based on that. So if suppose if we will talk about this RGB, right, whatever the value is for this K, that will be reduced by 30. If this is representing the value of K 0 to 1, now that value is at 70%, right? 0.7. So it will act accordingly. It will generate the colors accordingly, right? So you can put these values over here, because this is what for RGB. The same way this is for CMY. In CMI also you have this 1 minus K, right? So whatever the value you have, you are just putting 1 minus K also here. So just see this KRI, that is very similar to this one. Sorry, this one is for RGB, right? Very similar to this, plus 1 minus K you are including, right? So they are doing this 1 minus K, right? So that is totally reverse of it. You are just decreasing that from the below, or something like that. Now this is for your HSI model. So what I said, H and S, that will remain as it is. Don't touch it. So see this HS. Yes. So this is what your H and S. It is very similar to what it was previously, right? The same. No change in that. But you are doing the change only in intensity. That is very similar to this RG and B. Right? Very similar to that. So it is important to note that each transformation defined in this equation through depends on only one component within its color space. So that is one we are changing in R, one we are changing in G, one we are changing in B, right? So this equations, I mean 4 to 6 means this one, right? 4, 5 and 6. Based on this, they have put the values and accordingly they are getting the output, right? So this is what intensity has been decreased. Have you seen this? Sometimes you have very bright color, so you just want to let down it. So you can just change the value of K here and it will give you the output like this. Yeah. Then this is what the color complements. Now you can see this figure. What are the complements? What are the opposite colors? What are the opposite colors? You can have this circle, right? Wherever you will go, if I'll see what is the complement of red color, so you can say that is cyan color, right? And so on. If it would be this magenta, green would be opposite. If this would be blue, yellow would be opposite, right? Opposite, that is what the complements, right? The U directly opposite one another onto the color circle, right? The color complements are useful for enhancing the detail that is embedded in the dark region of the color image. If suppose I want to see something inside this black, so we have done image negative. Do you remember that? Right? exactly opposite to that. So whatever is into the red region, but I cannot see it clearly, opposite to that color, you just simply convert it and you will be able to see into it. So this is very similar to your image negative. If the your single image is dominant to the black color, some of the white I need to see, but I am not able to see it. So I'll just do the image negative. The same thing. Right? But here negative means not only about black and white, it is about all the colors. So what would be the complement of each and every color? So you just need to remember the circle and you will get the opposite color wherever you will go. This is what the complement. I hope I'm connected and I'm audible. Yeah, okay. So see this, what they are doing this, how they are taking the complement. This is what color complement transformation. First one is your original image. B is complement transformation function. This one. For this RGB, you have to do like this. This is very similar, no? If you have this, right? If R is this, you are just doing this negative. We have seen this, right? Very similar to that. But if it is about the HSI, you can check this. S will be same. Saturation will be same. What about this H? It will behave like this, right? And I, that is again what exactly opposite to whatever the original one is, right? Because we just need to change intensity only, but here H will also get changed. See, this is what given. So you will always, because till now you have taken the reference from the red color. So if you are looking for opposite to it, so now you will have the reference from the cyan color maybe. Reference will also get changed. So it will be like this. And the zigzag, this will make the Z. So C is the complement of, what is happening after every 5 minutes. Yeah. It is complement of A, this image, based on RGB mapping functions. So this is what output via using this RGB, and second one via the HSI. So you are getting this. Not a major difference. I mean, whatever the color model you are using, based on your application, you can choose. Right. So this is what red color is there. So you have seen what is the complement of a red color. So now the color is cyan. Okay. So this is what image negative, but in color image processing, right? With the colors. Getting it? So please just draw this one. I just want you to write this complement, because maybe in the 1 mark we can ask. You just need to put, no, you just need to make the triangle red, green and blue, and the opposite triangle you just need to make one star, and all the components, it's very easy to remember, no? You just need to draw one star, one triangle red, green, blue, another triangle cyan, magenta and yellow. You just need to put from where you need to put the values. If one of the end that is red, then you know red, after that green, then blue, then from where to start which color. Okay, fine. So I hope you have done with this. Okay. Now the next term is color slicing. Color slicing, again, it is very similar to your intensity slicing. If you want to highlight a particular range of the colors, then you have to do this color slicing. So highlighting a specific range of colors in an image is useful for separating the object from their surroundings. The basic idea is what? Display the color of interest so that they stand out from the background. And another, use the region which is defined by the colors as a mask for further processing. So whatever the region where you want to enhance the detail, right, by the colors as a mask for the further processing. So in this gray level slicing techniques, do you remember this one? That is why I have placed this thing again over here. What we are doing, we are not touching any other details, but wherever we are interested, that we will enhance, right? So yeah, and one more thing over here, that what I forgot to tell you. Yes, here, if I want that averaging of my image, right, I just want to apply averaging filter. So what you used to do in this, if this is your grayscale image, you are just considering your filter size, suppose it is 3 cross 3. So in the single plane, because we were having a single plane, right, in the grayscale image, what you used to do, you will simply take 9 pixels, divide with 9. You will take the 9 pixel, you will do the summation, and you will divide with 9. This is what you have done. But now if this is your RGB color image, and if we want to apply averaging filter, then what you need to do, first you will simply take one of the plane, that is R. It would be having 9 values. You will find the average, you will do the summation, it will be divided with the 9, and you will have one value. Okay, you will go to the green plane. Again you will take 9 pixels, you will do the summation, you will divide by 9. Again you will have one value. Again you will go to the third plane, and in one of the vector, right, in one of the vector you will write all these three values for R, G and B. Are you getting? Right. So this is what you are doing in where we are dealing with the color image. Okay, now again back to this. So the simplest way to slice, to map the colors outside some range of interest to a known prominent neutral color. If the colors of interest are enclosed by a cube, right? So here, whatever the intensity you are having in your output image, that is known as S. Input intensity, that is your R. You are taking some value A over here, that are the constant values, whatever you are interested in, right? And you are defining the width. If that is within your width range, I mean, it is, if this is your values are greater than W by 2, whatever the width you are saying by 2, then you are applying this 0.5, right? If your RJ minus AJ, some fixed radius or some fixed value you are specifying, right? And width of that. So in that range to that. Do you remember bend reject and bend pass filter and notch filter? Do you remember one range would be given? Let me draw this again if you forget it. One option we were having what? Either we will have the values over here, right? Outside of this, all the frequencies are allowed to pass. But if I'll say, this is what the width, right? Over this width only I want to do something, right? So this is what your width, right? That is what we are talking. So if it is RJ minus this AJ, this value is greater than w by 2, then you are making it as 0.5 only. That is what your color of interest. Okay. And if it is not, then simply it is same as it is your Ri. So Si equals to Ri. If yes, it is same because we are not touching this. This will remain same. Where we are interested only at this place. So this is what you have specified as your width, right? If it is within this range, then you want to make it as 0.5. So it will be clearly visible. Okay, this is what only the object. Sorry? Yes, yes, yes. That is what you're right. Yes. Right. Then, so this intensity minus this AJ value, right? Whatever the fixed values, that will be again the vector. But that I'll explain you the next time because we won't be able to finish it. That I'll tell you. That only I'll tell you next time. So this sphere also, because this is what the connected topic. Right? This all are the connected. Here we will have tone and color correction. That is what almost the last thing is histogram processing. Then smoothing, sharpening, and then it's over. So this is what we will be able to finish in the next lecture, which is today only. Yes, that only we are having. Still image smoothing and sharpening. Then segmentation is also there and so many things, but that is not included into our syllabus. See, the last topic is smoothing and sharpening. Right? Still that only we need to see. Six. This six. So that what we will finish today. So you have color models, representation of colors in the image, color image processing, basic of the color image processing, smoothing and sharpening. Very few topics they have given, but we have included everything, whatever is there in the book. Right, and then we'll start with image morphology from the next time. This we will be able to finish in 4 lecture max. This also 4 max. Okay, fine. So you may write down your numbers and you may leave. Javed, Aiba, Amanat, Haisun, Matuvos, Salamvit. Please write your numbers and you may leave. Please write your numbers quickly and you may leave. So is it done? Salamvit, Hymanat, have you written your numbers? I'll not wait now. After some time, please write it down quickly if you wish. Fine.